A lot of people look at the life around us and wonder where it all started. So basically you've got two camps. The one camp believes in evolution and the other camp believes in creation. So a lot of the times evolutionists ask for evidence of creation, and very often the best evidence against something is to prove the other. So basically, diffusion. If we have a puddle of mud, here's our primordial soup, and then they stated that minerals got together and they formed clumps and these formed cells and stuff. The best argument against that is diffusion. There's actually a law of diffusion. It's called the Fick's law of diffusion, and I'm going to demonstrate why diffusion basically prevents any forming of cells happening. So in essence, basically what we're saying is that Fick's law of diffusion states that substances will diffuse from areas of high concentration to low concentration. The law also guarantees that the system will reach a steady state where the concentrations or particles per volume of the substance will be the same throughout. In other words, particles will just try to arrange themselves evenly through a solution. So here we've got some clear water. It represents our puddle of mud, our primordial soup, billions and billions of years ago. I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla essence. There we go. So you can see that although we've got a bit of concentration over here, there's not much clumping happening. Everything is diffusing away from the center. Okay, so now I'm going to add some blue coloring. Once again, we see that the blues pretty much clump together, but nice octopus there. But then we also have turbulent conditions. We've got winds, we've got meteors hitting the ground, we've got all kinds of things causing turbulence. And in one argument I had with an atheist, I actually said that, well, in a puddle of mud that's just lying still, and he said, but who said it's lying still? So from the atheist's point of view, they also said that the water might not have been completely still. So now we've got diffusion, and we can see that the blue is evenly spreading out. Let's add some other minerals. We see the same pattern forming, but it's not clumping together. It's spreading itself out. Once again, we've got some turbulence, and over billions of years, we note that, things do not clump together. So what diffusion states is that any concentration will spread itself out throughout the solution to become evenly distributed. So basically all the molecules is trying to arrange themselves evenly spaced in the possible volume that it has, the available volume that it has. Let's add some green. And voila, the same is happening. There's no real clumping. And if you look at a picture of a cell, you will notice that all the different colors represent all the different aspects of the cell. So what this experiment is trying to show is that as the different colors diffuse and spread evenly out through the volume, it's not possible for them to clump together like you would see in this image of the cell, where certain proteins and certain elements would come together to form the ribosomes, or to form the nucleus, or to form the centrioles, or any of these things. And for that to form, diffusion should not take place. because you need a concentration of a certain type of molecule to form a cell membrane, which means that if evolution was true, this mixture right here would have formed certain concentrations that resembled something. We might have gotten a blue smiley face against a red background, or we might have gotten a tree shape object against a red or blue background, but we don't. We get even distribution, which is called diffusion, and that's the argument against cell formation in the primordial soup. And then for the people who believe that the puddles of mud were actually calm and they were not disturbed, and therefore the clumping would happen in a still environment, I've taken these pictures of another experiment where I left them alone over time, and in a matter of an hour, pretty much an hour, you can see that diffusion, when left alone, happened all by itself. So sorry people, if you've got any common sense, you will understand that no primordial soup being disturbed or calm state would have formed complex cells like this by means of proteins and minerals and chemicals coming together in exactly the same proportion, in exactly the same quantities to form a cell. And if you want, you can do this experiment a couple of billion times over the next couple of billion years. We'll be waiting. Take all the time you need.